Diuretics. Here we'll see the different classes of diuretics. First, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. It includes drugs like acetazolamide. Let's now see the mechanism of action of acetazolamide. The sodium which is filtered from the glomerulus is taken into the PCT cell with the help of sodium pump. Through the same pump, the H+ ion enters the lumen of PCT, which combines with bicarbonate ion filtered through the glomerulus and forms carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is immediately split into water and carbon dioxide with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. This carbon dioxide enters into the PCT cell, which combines with the water present in it to form carbonic acid with the help of same enzyme carbonic anhydrase, which then splits into H+ and HCO3-. This H+ leaves the PCT and enters the lumen through the sodium pump. This is the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. The sodium which entered the PCT is now reabsorbed back into the blood with the help of sodium-potassium ATPase, which pumps 3 sodium out for 2 potassium inside. The bicarbonate formed in the PCT cell is also reabsorbed back into the blood. The drugs like acetazolamide, which are carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, inhibit the carbonic anhydrase enzyme both in the lumen as well as in the PCT cell. As the bicarbonate is not absorbed, they are excreted in the urine. So there is increased bicarbonate elimination. Leading to alkaline urine. Because of this, the sodium is also not reabsorbed. So there is excess of sodium in the urine, which is exchanged with the potassium ion in the collecting tubule. This causes increased level of potassium in urine, called as caluresis. So here alkaline urine and caluresis occurs. This is the mechanism of acetazolamide, that is carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. The second class of drugs are sodium-potassium 2-chloride channel inhibitor. Which include drugs like furosemide, bumetanide and toracimide. All these act on sodium-potassium 2-chloride channel present in the thick part of ascending limb of loop of Henle. Let's now see the mechanism of action of these drugs. 1 sodium, 1 potassium and 2 chloride ions are taken into the cell from the lumen. As in every other cell, there is sodium-potassium pump present on the basolateral surface of the cell. The sodium ion taken from the lumen is reabsorbed back into the blood with the help of sodium-potassium pump, and the 2 chloride ions are also reabsorbed with the help of chloride channels on the apical surface. The potassium which enters the cell with the help of sodium-potassium ATPase and the potassium which is taken into the cell with the help of sodium-potassium 2-chloride channel, because of increase in concentration, they are secreted back into the lumen with the help of potassium channels. So the increased levels of potassium make that part more electropositive, due to which magnesium and calcium are absorbed through the paracellular method, that is, transport between the cells. This occurs to reduce the electropositivity and to maintain the charge equality. This is the normal mechanism which occurs in the thick part of ascending loop of Henle. Let's see what happens when sodium potassium 2-chloride channel blockers are given. Firstly, as the sodium is not reabsorbed, this causes increased sodium elimination, leading to natriuresis. And as the potassium ion is not reabsorbed, this causes increased potassium elimination in the urine, leading to caluresis. The magnesium and calcium ions are also not reabsorbed, leading to increased calcium elimination in the urine, called as calciuria. The third class of drugs are sodium chloride symport inhibitor, which include drugs like thiazides. These are the group of drugs. Let's see the mechanism of action of thiazides. They act mainly on the distal convoluted tubule. Their sodium chloride symport in the basal layer of cell of DCT, through which the sodium and chloride enter the cell, and the chloride is reabsorbed. There is a receptor which is sensitive to parathyroid hormone, and there is a sodium calcium antipode on the apical surface. When there is release of PTH, the parathyroid hormone activates the receptors, and there is influx of calcium ions through calcium channel which is not otherwise present, and the calcium is reabsorbed back into the blood. And there is also sodium potassium ATPase as in all the cells. When thiazides are given, which are sodium chloride inhibitors, they go and inhibit the sodium chloride symport. This leads to increased sodium accumulation in the lumen of DCT. There is increased calcium absorption through the sodium chloride transporter, that is antipode. This is the mechanism of thiazide diuretics. The next class of diuretics are potassium sparing diuretics, which include aldosterone antagonist, sodium channel inhibitors. The potassium sparing diuretics do not affect the concentration of potassium in the urine. They mainly act on the collecting tubule. Let's now see their mechanism of action. Normally, in a collecting tubule cell, there is sodium channel present on the basal surface, through which sodium is taken into the cell, and there are potassium channels through which potassium enters the lumen from the cell. First, sodium channel inhibitors inhibit the sodium channel, and thereby they also inhibit the potassium channel. Second, aldosterone antagonist. They include drugs like spironolactone and eplerenone. Normally, aldosterone causes sodium and water reabsorption. So they are antagonistic to aldosterone. That is, they oppose the aldosterone action. So they cause decreased sodium absorption and decrease potassium elimination. This is the mechanism of action of potassium sparing diuretics. Let's now summarize the four main classes of diuretics. First, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. They cause caluresis and alkaline urine. Example of carbonic anhydrase inhibitors: acetazolamide, second class, sodium potassium 2-chloride channel inhibitors. They lead to natriuresis, caluresis and calciuria. Examples: furosemide. Third class, sodium chloride symport inhibitors. They cause increased calcium absorption. So, they can be used as treatment for hypocalcemia. The same way, furosemide, as they cause calciuria, they can be used for treatment of hypercalcemia to reduce the blood calcium level. Example of sodium chloride symport inhibitor: thiazides. And the last class, potassium sparing diuretics. They cause decreased caluresis. Thank you.